If I asked you, who do you work for? How would you answer that question? That's what we're pondering today on the art of lifing at work with Keka. So I run these programs at different companies where we focus on creating a happy culture and we supercharge the workforce based on gratitude-centered leadership. And when I run these workshops, one of the questions that I often ask management is, who do you work for? And most often the answer I get is the company that they work for. I work for IKEA Canada, or I work for DDB, I work for Johnson & Johnson. They own their own company, they'll say I work for my own company. But when you get up in the morning every day and you look forward to going to work and you look forward to doing what you're doing, who is it that you're doing that for? Your intrinsic motivation, chances are, it's not based on the company that you work for, but it's based on the family that you love, the friends that you see every day, the passion you might be pursuing, the cause that you're supporting, the community that you're building. There's all kinds of other reasons and other people that we go to work for. And so in today's world, work-life balance, I really don't believe that that's a thing anymore because I think everything is integrated. Those boundaries and barriers are breaking. We're on our smartphones 24/7. We're constantly thinking about our work or our life, both when we're at home and when we're at the office. So if we think about who we work for, that is a really great compass with which we can make decisions, whether it's for our own life, but also what we choose to do at work. So I wanted to share an example and an experience that stood out to me a few years ago. I was helping this politician in Bermuda. She was running for office and she wanted some help with some key messages and media training. So with my PR background, I said, sure, no problem. We scheduled a time and we got on the phone and I was going through her training with her. And halfway through the training, she abruptly stopped me and she said, I'm so sorry, Keka. My son's actually come home from school earlier than expected and he's really hungry, so I need to make him some food. So thank you so much for all the work you've did, but I've got to cut this conversation short. And I have to tell you that I was quite shocked when we got off the phone and I thought, that was so abrupt. And, you know, she had made a commitment to me to do this call and suddenly she just broke it so quickly for her son. It just didn't make sense to me. And it's because quite often in North American work cultures, we put our work first. And I'm completely guilty of that. You know, if my kids are hungry and I say, just 1 minute, I'm going to come, I just need to finish this email or I just need to do this. But this politician in Bermuda knew that she was doing this kind of work for her family. And so when it came to making a decision of putting her family first versus her work first, her family unequivocally came first. Now, that's not something that we're all going to change in North America overnight, but it is something to think about. That, you know, when you have a conflicting decision that you have to make, it might be worth standing back for a moment and asking, who am I working for? Why am I doing this? You know, I was at a conference a couple of months ago from Jennifer Kem called Seen, Heard, and Paid, and it was an amazing conference. And at that conference, Jennifer had brought in a PR guru in the US. His name is Chris Winfield. And he gave us this incredible, very intimate presentation around his public relations work and the things that he does for his clients. But in it, he talked about a story where his 3-year-old daughter wanted something to eat and she was hungry and Chris was on the phone. And he speaks about this and he shares the story very openly about how his daughter said, Dad, I'm hungry. And he said, hold on, just a minute. And he was trying to finish this call. Well, his daughter, realizing that this 1 minute isn't actually going to be 1 minute, Chris describes her going into the fridge and taking out a pizza, going and taking a chair over to the microwave and putting the pizza in the microwave and giving herself some own food because she knew that that 1 minute would never be 1 minute. But as soon as we have those moments of realization, and this is what Chris was talking about, we start to realize what our priorities are and where we need to go. So I'm just sharing this with you because that experience of that politician in Bermuda and that whole question really changed my perspective when I thought about it. And today I put my kids first. They are my #1 client. And not everything works out perfectly all the time, but it's just asking that question of who do you work for gives us the ability to have a compass, and it allows us to make the decision in the moment according to the values that mean the most to us, so that we don't have to later on one day look back and say, I regret not spending more time with my family, or I regret making work first and not doing the other things that are also important to me. Just a little question to ponder as you go into work today. based on the values and the decisions that we make. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, then please like it and share it with anybody that you think might be interested in this content as well. I would also love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday. And last but not least, if you have any comments, I would love to have a conversation with you. Let's do this journey together. Let's master the art of lifing and really do life on purpose.